back to the channel. So it's been a really long time since I posted anything, but life has been pretty busy. I still have 3 or 4 BDR videos that I need to edit and post up, and I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But I have just been really needing to get out and go on a trip and go camping and just get out and enjoy this. And I've got a new setup on the truck for camping and all that, so I just figured I'd get out there and give you guys another episode. It's been so long, I feel bad. So anyways, today we're headed up to Shasta area. So there's a overland route or a backcountry discovery trail that Overland Trail Guides posted. So I'm going to try to do some portions of that this weekend. We've got a couple of days, family's all down visiting other family, and so I just figured, you know, why not? Good time to do that. So I'm going to head up there. Hopefully got some good camping spots coming, and it should be a really nice, beautiful area. So I'm hoping it's going to be a really good adventure for you guys. So I just want to give you a little update real quick. So I'm up here just past Lake Shasta, and I'm just kind of trying to look around to figure out where I'm going to be able to jump on to that backcountry discovery trail, because there's a wildland fire, and it looks like it's on the point of origin is on the trail, on the road that I need to be on back there in the backcountry. So I bypassed that area. I'm trying to go up north, and then I'm going to figure out where I can cut over and get back onto it. But for now, I'm just kind of driving and looking at Onyx off-road, and that's kind of helping me figure out what I'm going to try to do, where I'm going to cut over. I'm trying to be thoughtful about that too, because I am solo, so I don't really want to be getting stuck on some Jeep trails or something like that. I'm not a rock crawler, but I'll get out to some nasty roads or whatever, but I'd rather not get into Jeep trail rock crawling deal. So anyways, I'll keep you guys in the loop. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to camp tonight. I was thinking I was going to make it to Tamarack Lake, but it's 7:17 right now. I'm just not sure if I'm going to have time, so we'll see, but I'll keep you guys in the loop. So anyways, it's a pretty drive though. It's a beautiful area. Okay, so we're going to try to cut through Castle Crags State Park and see if we can get over to Lake Tamarack. There you go. Look at that. Wow. All right, we're back into the forest. It looks like the cut through Castle Crags did indeed pay off. So we're gonna see if we can make our way back to Tamarack. All right, you guys, so I just pulled over because I wanted to show you guys this view of the Castle Crags State Park. That is crazy. Little walk around of the truck for you. So I can't lie, this is definitely a little weird that I'm this far back. I'm probably 15 miles back here, and I'm on pavement. Like, these are forestry roads and it's all pavement. It's a little disappointing, but I'm able to make really good time because of it, so I guess I can't complain too much. Hopefully I'll get to the lake and then get on some dirt tomorrow and whatever else. It'll be just save a little bit of time that way, I guess. So anyways, it's going good so far though. Okay, we finally found dirt. And this is where we'll kind of start navigating back to the lake off the main stretch. So. So right here in this area, I was starting to head up to Tamarack Lake, and I noticed that the trail was starting to get a lot more rocky and steep. And it's getting a little bit late, starting to get dark. As you can see, I got my fog lights on or whatever. Just trying to make sure I can see any of the big boulders and stuff that are in the way. But yeah, the camera doesn't do it justice. It got a little more rocky and nasty, so I ended up taking a wrong turn up here too, which kind of messed things up. You'll see that in a second. But yeah, the trail definitely got a little bit nasty from here on out. Yeah, so right up here you can kind of see where I was supposed to turn right and go up that trail. If you look, you can see it looks pretty nasty, so you can see why. I was like, this looks a little bit better over here. I'll go on this side. So went around, and there's also another turnoff right here to the right where you can go up. They both connect in the same spot, just right up there. And yeah, so I went straight and ended up getting up there and had to turn around, and I'll show you that here in a second. The view sure paid off though, going up that wrong road. It was a beautiful sunset that evening. Yeah, so you can see here I had to back down and turn around. There was one little spot on this road that I was able to turn around in, so it ended up working out okay. It wasn't that big of a deal. Definitely tight up there for a big truck, but it ended up working out. So I ended up backtracking and then taking the correct turn to head up towards the lake, and then that's where kind of ran into some bigger boulders and some stuff, and just decided that I should probably not do that while it's getting dark and I'm on my own. Just wasn't sure if it was going to be good for being out there solo. You can see coming around the correct area that the trail gets a lot tighter, and I still at this point wasn't too worried. I was thinking like, okay, well if it doesn't get much worse than this, then I'll be okay. But just around this turn right here, you'll see that I ran into some big boulders there. The bypass looks pretty big, but it was pretty tight for a big truck. So again, if I was with someone else, probably wouldn't have been a big deal, but ended up deciding to turn around and go find a camp spot just down a little bit lower. Well, you guys, unfortunately, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make it to the lake. I'm not sure if maybe the bad winter had an effect on that, and made the trail worse, but either way, I think I'm gonna go ahead and camp here. This is a pretty cool spot. Let me show you guys. There's a little firewood, really nice fire ring, fire pit. Yeah, so I think we're gonna go ahead and set up camp, call this home for the night. Okay guys, so I've made it to camp, and the first thing that I'm going to do now that I have the awning and the tent set up, and I have some bug spray on because mosquitoes are killer out here, I'm going to get a beer. So this beer, hopefully you guys can see it okay, it's called Num Num Juice, Hazy IPA from Fall River Brewing Company. What percentage is this? This is a 7.5%. So I've had quite a few of these. These are delicious. And this was a gift from a good friend of mine when I was heading out of town today. He was like, hey, take one of these and you can put that on the channel. So it's perfect. So let me crack this open. Got bumped around in there a little bit, I guess. All right. That's a good beer. I don't know what's up with the name, but it's a good beer. I'm curious what these little reflective, I looked at them close, they're like a little tack or a nail with a reflective tape on them. I'm not really sure what they're for, but when you're looking at them, the first ones that I saw, there were two of them like that. It looked like little eyes staring back at me. The tree just about got blasted. You guys know what those... Alright you guys, I think that's going to call it a night. I got dinner before I left town this afternoon just so that, because I knew I was going to be getting in late. So we'll do some cooking in the morning. So if you're here for the delicious food, don't leave, because we're going to do that. But this evening I'm just going to enjoy this beer, enjoy the campfire, and then probably head to bed. Good morning. It's about 6:15. I'm going to get up and try to make sure I don't miss the golden hour. Get you guys some cool drone footage of these mountains around here. And have some coffee. Probably coffee first, though. We'll see. Look at this view out my front window. That's beautiful. Gonna have some of this Black Rifle Coffee Company Tacta-Squatch. This is some really excellent coffee, just in case you guys are looking for some. Very good. So I'm a big fan of this AeroPress. If you're doing a single serving of coffee, then this is honestly a great way to go. It just sits right on here, kind of nests in there. You've got these little paper filters. There's probably 50 or 60 of these, and it's a tiny little bag. And I just store these in the handle of the AeroPress. So make sure the air's out. And then it just sticks inside the handle there. So you could even put some coffee in the same spot and then it'd be really compact. But anyways. Oh, it's so beautiful. All right, coffee's finished. Cheers. Perfect. All right. Alright, you guys, I think we're going to whip up some breakfast burritos. Check out this little kit from Stanley. This is pretty cool. I bought this for more family camping stuff, but it's a really cool little kit. So, here's your frying pan. Got utensils. There's 4 bowls, 4 plates, and there's like, so this is a good pot, obviously. And then you got utensils. I think this is like a little hot pad for grabbing these things when they're getting warm. And then I think they said that this is a cutting board. And this would be your dish rack. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why you need a dish rack. But anyways, it's a really cool kit. I think it was about $90. But being that it's Stanley, I assume that this will last a really long time, and I'll have this for a lot of years of camping with my family. So, anyways, cool little kit. Salsa, hash browns, cheese, eggs, butter, and the last thing, chorizo. It's going to be a chorizo breakfast burrito. It's going to be mint. So I've never cooked chorizo before. It's about, I don't know, I'd say 60% grease. It's a learning experience, I guess. I'm gonna go drain some of this grease off, hopefully, and then make a burrito. Okay, I got it looking a little better. I'm not afraid of grease or fat, but that was a bit excessive. chorizo fried hash browns. And since this is all getting chopped up and going into a burrito anyway, I don't particularly care what it looks like. So I've got the hash browns and chorizo in here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my eggs. Okay, I think this is about done. My tortilla is nice and warm after sitting on there. That's perfect. I had some cheese on top of here. It's getting all melty. I mean, it looks like a chorizo breakfast burrito to me. Or a breakfast scramble. It's about to look like a burrito, I guess. Hash browns, cheese, eggs, and chorizo. We'll see. I'm going to put some salsa on right now. I got some Mrs. Renfro's ghost pepper salsa. I don't know how hot this is, so. It's hot. Okay. It turned out really good. I'll see how it tastes. That's awesome. It's delicious. All right. All right, so just got done washing dishes and stuff. I'm gonna get all this dried and put away, get everything cleaned up. And then probably break down camp and get on with the backcountry discovery travel. See what we can find today. Alright, you guys, we are back in the truck. We're headed out to try to get some miles in on this backcountry discovery trail. So, really great night of camping last night. Good food this morning. Yeah. We're gonna go try to get some off-roading in today and just get some miles under our belt. So, stick around and thanks for watching.
So as I was leaving the area where I camped that night, I was looking at Onyx and noticed a couple of trails that headed up to a couple more small lakes in that area, and they didn't look too far off the main road, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and yeah, they turned out really cool. This is just a couple of clips from heading up those trails. I'd definitely like to try and do this one again, but I didn't end up making all the way. All this, but right here I pulled up in a spot and took a couple of pictures for just because it was a cool spot or whatever. It looked cool behind me, so got out, started to take a couple of pictures, and right about here is when I noticed I had a pretty serious issue, as you will see in a couple of minutes.
Okay, so I noticed a little bit of like just a small drip happening, and I was trying to figure out what was going on, and so popped the hood and I traced it back up to here. I don't know, it's a crack in the radiator, like that's a new radiator right there, but what I don't understand is how that cracks, unless it's too much twisting and torquing going over all these rocks and stuff. I don't know, but I am like really close to this lake. I'm debating going on, but I probably shouldn't push it, so I may turn around.
I know I'm a little behind the curve here, but I need to go ahead and air down because I've got a lot of dirt miles to do and the ride is a little rough. So I'm going to go ahead and air down right now. So I use the Morflate. This thing works really well. You can hook up all 4 tires at one time and air down or air up. So right now, I don't know if you can see that, but it's at 46.5 pounds. So I'm gonna air down to like 25, I think. All right, it's not too bad. That was like a little 10-minute stop to air down. So, oh yeah, look at that. That's not good. All right, well, my trip may be coming to an end. Maybe I'll see if I can patch that with JB Weld or something. Okay guys, so I just aired down and I noticed a pretty good sized puddle underneath the truck of radiator fluid or coolant. So I think I've got some JB Weld in my trail tools. So I think I may go ahead and try to mix up some of that. I think it's actually the quick steel one, so it's like a faster setting. So I'm gonna see if maybe I can mix some of that up. I have to wait for this to all cool down so there's no pressure in the system first. And then that way it'll kind of quit leaking. It's a really thin crack, but it's like 1.5 inches long. I showed it to you guys earlier, I'll show it to you again. But I think that if I can get some of that on there, I'd feel good about trying to get to the next town and then maybe even get it home so that I can repair it. I don't know, I'm not sure yet, but this is the crack in here. So right along here it cracked, and then right down kind of stops. See how if I wipe it with my finger it kind of starts coming back. So it's about, from here to here. Interesting spot to crack. I don't know much about, like, I've never cracked a radiator like that before, but I honestly have a feeling it could have to do with the kind of taking it on these trails and articulating it a little bit more than I normally would and everything else. I don't know. I mean, I would think that these trucks should be able to handle a little bit of that. So, yeah, so stick around. I'm gonna see if I can do a repair on this. Okay, I think we're gonna try this quick steel. See what happens. That area up there in the front is gonna have to get a little drier before it's just barely seeping now. So I think that if I wait a little longer, I don't know if you guys can see that in there, but it's just barely coming out of there. So I'll wait a little bit and then I'll rough that all up. I have a wire brush that probably would work pretty well. I guess I couldn't ask for a much easier spot to do this in, considering it's right there in the front and I can get to it. Otherwise, if it was buried, I'd have a real issue on my hands. I think I'll try to scratch the surface a little bit with this, just to give myself the best chance as possible here. So it says to knead this up until it becomes one uniform color. What do you guys think? Does that look uniform? Yeah. Alright, so this gives a much better view of what's going on in here. So it's cracked all the way from down there to up there. I just scratched the surface up really well with a pick, and then I have that steel, the quick steel, that I'm gonna try to put on there and see if I can get this thing out of here without losing all my coolant. So far I still have some in the reserve there, in the reservoir, but yeah, pain in the butt. I can barely scrape like a little bit off the top of it. It's almost, I mean, like, that is really well set up. Let's hope it bonds to the plastic properly. Okay, I'll get back at you guys when I find out if this works.
Yeah, so back on the road, hoping this holds. I'm still way back here in the woods, so I'd like to get, out to I-5 or something, so that if I need to get some parts or whatever, then I have a little bit better access, but we'll see.
So I just went, so I got to, I think this town is called Pioneer, and I was able to pick up a little bit more, like some new fresh stuff that's a little bit more pliable, and then I got some extra antifreeze just in case. But honestly, I got here and I put a little bit more on the bottom and then right in the middle where it was leaking a little bit, and I've had, like, when I got here there was none on the ground at all. It wasn't dripping at all, so really I think I'm good to go. You can see it's a little bit wet in there, but it's gonna be okay. So I think we're good.
All right, you guys, little update. I just left the town of Mount Shasta, and I'm headed up towards the actual Mount Shasta. And in the town here, I was able to fuel up and then do a little bit of work on the radiator and see if I could get that thing to just totally seal up. It's very, very slow, so I'm really not concerned about it. But I figured I'd go ahead and finish this up and get another night of camping in. So anyways, we're headed up towards the mountain, and we'll see if we can find a cool place to camp tonight and just enjoy ourselves. So I passed a sign a little bit ago that said road closed. It says out at Mud Creek. So there's a marking on the map from the GPX file from Overland Trail Guides that shows a Mud Creek water crossing. I still have a couple of miles to go. So I'm just gonna get back here and maybe I'll find a spot back here, and if not, I'll come back out. A lot of downed trees up here, and I think they got some rain recently because everything's kind of damp. I'm seeing one set of fresh tracks on the road since the rain, so right here it kind of looks like two actually, but yeah. Anyways, we're working our way back through here.
So as I got further down the trail, I came across this Suburban. This was the tracks that I was seeing on the trail ahead of me, and this guy was actually really cool. He was out there to spread his mom's ashes because I guess they used to go back there and camp all the time. And so I spent a lot of time talking to him and kind of slowed me down a little bit. But this was just before the Mud Creek crossing down there, and you'll see here in a minute that was completely washed out. So he ended up, we kind of went down there and checked it out together, and then he ended up going a separate way. But yeah, it was cool fellow down there. So right here you can see some video that I took while I was out there at the actual Mud Creek crossing, and the area is completely washed out, or at least it was when I took this trip back in June. It was absolutely impassable. I emailed Overland Trail Guides to let them know that this area is completely closed, and he said that he had gotten some other reports, but that people were able to find a way around, or like able to still make it through. And I don't know, I find that a little bit hard to believe looking at these drop-offs and stuff like this. So either way, Mud Creek was out when I went through.
All right, so after going all the way back to the town of Mount Shasta, because the route really didn't have any other good options for camping or anything on it, so I'm just doing something completely different. I looked all over on Onyx Off-Road and was looking at campgrounds and looking at all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to make my way over to McLeod, and I'm going to see if I can find a good campground over there. I found some stuff that looks decent, so I'm going to give that a shot and see if we can get a good night of camping. So been a bit of a bummer on this trip just because I ran into the wildfire, so I had to get through the first part of the route and then had to bypass a lot of it because of that. And then when I got up there to go to the lake, I just didn't feel comfortable getting up to the actual lake because of the difficulty of the trail. And being as I was on my own and it was getting dark, I didn't really want to do something dumb. So in the radiator and then the washout today, it's just been a little bit like irritating, but we're getting there. It's still a good trip, and I'm glad I got out and everything. It's just these are the challenges of this kind of camping where you're going off-road and like just kind of exploring and finding new areas and stuff. So it's challenging, but it'll still be an enjoyable trip. So I'll get back with you guys when I get to the campground. Well, I found another place that maybe I thought I could camp, and it is by permit only or by reservation. So again, out of luck. You can't disperse camp, and you can't camp in any of these campgrounds because it's reservation only. So I don't even know what I'm going to do at this point. It's a pretty area though. All right, so after searching for hours and hours and hours, I finally got a campsite. Not a bad spot. I think I have some neighbors up there and I have some neighbors down below, but it's dispersed and I don't have to pay anything and I can't see anybody. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start setting up camp. I got the truck kind of leveled out already so that I can get camp set up and cook and not have everything washing to one side, but got a little fire pit and everything. So I believe that there's some water down there. I'm gonna go check that later and explore, but for now, time to set up camp.
Okay.
All right, it has been a very long day with a lot of challenges, but now it is time to crack one of these. So I have a different one, but this one is also by Fall River Brewing Company. I figured that this was fitting. It's called Bonfire Pale Ale. It's a pretty light beer. This one's only 5.2%, but I figured I could have a couple of them that way, and I wouldn't be irresponsible. And look at that, it says open to adventure. I'm open to adventure, but it should be nice if you could find a campsite too. Alright, see if it's good. Delicious. I don't think I've had a beer from them that I don't like. This is a great beer. seasoning with Kinder's, this is called the blend, salt, pepper, and garlic. You can't go wrong with that. Shall we try the first bite? The first piece I cut was the end, and it was pretty much all fat. So, all right. Man, that is good. The sear on that, it's like crunchy on the outside. It is beautiful. Man. All right. We'll drink my beer. All right, I'm gonna go sit down and eat dinner. So for the sake of my wife, who thinks it's hilarious that I pointed out one time that I don't normally use fire starters, I've gotten to the point now where I normally use fire starters because why not? And they're incredibly easy. So hopefully she gets a good laugh out of this.